The Prince of Wales later today will participate in his first public engagement since news of his wife's cancer diagnosis, which unbelievably was 4 weeks ago now.
Well, the news comes as Prince Harry has officially cut ties with Britain after listing his California mansion as his primary residence. Well, where else would he put it? Joining us now, is... I don't know
what did you say?
I just went off on one.
Okay.
Joining us now is TalkTV's royal...
Where else would he put what?
Well, where else would he say his primary... He's lived there for several years. It's like this Angela Rayner row we've been having all morning, where someone's primary residence is. Doesn't mean he's cutting ties with the UK, does it, or does it? Sarah Hewson.
Hello.
The most bizarre introduction you've had, I'm sure, whilst you've been on this show. Which one do you want to talk about
Should
first?
we talk about Harry first, then?
Yes, why don't we?
So this is a document he filed with Companies House for Travellist, his eco-tourism organisation, and it was a change of address document, so changing from the UK to the United States. It was filed on Wednesday, but it was backdated to June the 29th last year. That coincides with what we believe to be the date that he and Meghan had to hand back the keys to Frogmore Cottage on the instructions of his father. Now, it's being taken by some as a sign of how wounded he is, that he's saying that I have no ties anymore with the United Kingdom. I think there are practical matters here. If you don't have an address to put on a document for Companies House, you have to say where you do live, and he clearly lives in the United States.
I think this is... You've perfectly articulated my
got a second home, hasn't he?
about this story. So have you. And the fact that he has to have registered his address.
He's got a boat.
He has to, exactly. He has to have registered his address somewhere. Does
and
it
he
really
doesn't
mean
have
that...
one here.
No.
He really doesn't. And we've come across this multiple times when he's come back to visit. Where does he go? Where does he stay? He doesn't have an address. It also raises questions, again, about whether he should still be a Councillor of State, because a Councillor of State has to be domiciled in the United Kingdom.
Right.
There's been a fudge around that, effectively, because the King's added Princess Anne and Prince Edward onto the list of those and said that only working royals can represent him as a Councillor of State. So
but isn't brave enough to take his son completely off, but then doesn't allow him to have
nor his brother, Andrew.
Yeah, which is ridiculous to me.
There's also a bit of confusion because we've had fairly mixed messages from Harry, depending on who he's talking to, about where he sees home. Because during his court case against the Home Office, he very much said, the UK is my home. I want to be able to return here, and I want to be able to bring my children back here because this is their heritage and it's very important, but I don't feel safe to do so. While he was talking to American broadcasters during an Invictus Games event earlier this year, he said that he was considering applying for citizenship in the United States. He's talked about California very much feeling like his home right now. So two different things, but I think we've basically got a legal document here which says, where do you live? Well, he lives in California.
Yeah, just stating the facts. I would have thought. Jeremy Kyle's got a wry smile.
He has.
What's your wry smile?
He's pondering whether he can come out.
I always think, you know, we had a conversation privately this morning about authenticity, right?
Yes.
I mean this, I don't have an argument. I just always believe those two do something with timing for a reason. I don't care whether he's domiciled in America or here. He's made his bed, lie in it. It's not that important to me.
But you can't say it's timing. It's the end of the tax year. That's what it was.
Was it to save tax then?
Well, no, it's
UK tax. Start that rumour.
It's for Companies House. Anyway, enough of Harry. Let's talk about his brother, Prince William. Has prepared for his first public engagement. I can't believe it, as you said earlier, it's been 4 weeks since Kate's diagnosis.
Who will forget that amazing, honest interview?
Yes, exactly. Sitting on that bench in Windsor and revealing her cancer diagnosis.
Do we know anything about her health?
We don't know anymore. We haven't seen anything of her since then, as we were told to expect. We have seen William since then. He took George to Aston Villa to watch their team play last Thursday. He's also spotted out at the pub with his mother-in-law, Carol Middleton, in Norfolk. That's where the family have been based for the school Easter holidays.
Imagine just going out to the pub. Come on, let's go for a little drink.
With the future king.
George, Charlotte and Louis went back to school yesterday, and so
that.
today is William's first day back at work. And he's got 2 engagements today in Surrey and West London. They're around community support organisations, environmental organisations. He's visiting a surplus food organisation today, which tries to match up those in food poverty with food waste. It's very much in keeping with the Coronation Food Project that was announced by his father. And so we're going to see him back to work, and this is the start of it.
Be good to see that. I don't really want to, but I will anyway. What do you make of Meghan Markle's jam? God.
Well, Meghan
So
has
far
sent
has she fallen from being a
50
TV
jars
star?
of limited edition strawberry jam,
Why?
beautifully packaged with lemons and flowers,
Yeah, of course.
to her friends and influencers.
Has she got that
each with a
many
number
friends?
on them, and they've been posting about them on Instagram. If I received one of those, I'd be taking a look at what number I got.
See?
What number? Where do
49,
you
you
rank
can
me?
do one, Markle.
Who was number one?
Well, I'm guessing, would it have to be Doria, her mother, wouldn't
Can I
it?
just,
Oh,
can I
yeah,
just
you'd
say,
hope so.
can I please, because Nicola Thorp was saying, do you not think it's a bit of a come down?
Well, actually,
Making jam?
He's actually going back to where she was before with her blog,
this
The Tig.
yesterday.
She was very much into food, into cooking, into
Well, can I ask
wine,
the obvious one? It's,
etc.
I can't use that word now for the candle. What do I use? What do I say? You do it, because I want to know if she's going to do
A candle, yes, similar to what Gwyneth Paltrow did. I don't think she'll go quite so far in her lifestyle brand. But as Sarah said, this is very much what Meghan used to do before she met Harry, before she was a member of the royal family. And she, of course, had to give that up. She had to give up her Instagram page, her brand and everything. So this is just a new one. However, I do think American Riviera Orchard is quite the mouthful, Sarah.
It is, and the branding of it's very nostalgic, isn't it? It's quite old-fashioned looking. Someone pointed out that one of the jars had already got the label peeling off. So, but this is very much.
I love that headline. They got sickly sweet. That sums it all up.
Yeah, I mean, it's her soft launch to her friends who are publicising it on
Sure.
social media, and then we'll have the bigger launch. She's
I'm
got the
desperately
Instagram
searching
platform
for a
set up.
comment. No, I'm not reading that. No, OK. OK, fair enough. So we can't buy a stupid jam that she's
Not
only
yet.
made 50?
We can't.
No.
Only her friends can taste it. We will be able to eventually.
There's
And
about
if you want
2
a copper
oaks.
pan,
What?
or if you want copper pans,
And
or
kitchen linens.
kitchen linens.
No, I want
We'll-
to just
I
go
think
away
they
and
have-
shut up. I don't want a jam or a
They are
I
going to
thought you
sell
wanted them
candles.
to leave the royal family and make a living on their own, and she's doing it. Yeah?
Anyway, that's almost the end of today. Do you know what? After 3.5 hours of being slightly hungover, I've got no response to that. Well done, Thorpe.
Yes.